Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Rogue and leveling in WoW Classic Hardcore servers. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and we'll just jump right on into it. So the Rogue is, definitely an interesting choice if you're playing to level in a hardcore server. There's a lot of upsides to it and a couple of downsides, but we'll go over all of it. So upsides, uh, kind of the same way as the mage has, all of their different abilities and things that you can do. The rogue has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. Just to name a few, I mean, you've got stealth, sprint, evasion, sap, blind, vanish, gouge. I know I'm not even naming them all. Just, yeah, there are a ton of options for whatever encounter you get in to help you survive whatever you're trying to do at the time, right? Now, the downside of the rogue is that you're completely gear dependent. Just like the warrior, you need new weapons, new gear all the time, constantly upgrading, trying to stay, you know, as powerful as you can, because that's, you know, if your gear is bad, you're gonna struggle so much on the rogue. If your weapons are more than 3 or 4 levels old, then you're gonna struggle on a rogue. Um, that's just the way it is. I really feel like it's a lot easier to play the caster classes in WoW Classic, and the rogue is, on the face of it, the rogue looks really good, but once you get into playing the rogue, it really doesn't feel that amazing compared to playing like a mage. Um, you've got all these abilities and they're great, but the hit rating, I mean, you can see here on the screen, like this mob is 2 levels lower than my character here, and all the misses and parries and dodges, I mean, it really is just incredibly frustrating to play a rogue sometimes. And I think it's just when you go to the dual wield, your hit rating drops so much. You need so much more hit rating to make it work. It just, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. You go from feeling just overpowered on one fight to nearly dying on the next one, just from the RNG of whether you're getting hits or not. So it's kind of interesting to play the rogue. I've been putting this video off for a while because I just can't get my mind straight on how I feel about the rogue in general, really. I know a lot of people will use combat spec to level, and that is absolutely viable. That I'm not going to argue with that a bit. It's just, not really my cup of tea when it comes to the rogue. Um, you can definitely play that way. It is probably the highest DPS spec in WoW Classic. But it does leave something to be desired when it comes to, you know, what you can do with your rogue. Me personally, I absolutely love the subtlety playstyle. That's the way I want to play rogue. And so that's usually the way I go about it. The downside of combat is, of course, sap is kind of bad unless you're subtlety in WoW Classic. Unless you have the 3 points in improved sap, your sap will knock you out of stealth every time you use it. And even if you do have the improved sap in the subtlety tree, you still have a 10% chance of not returning to stealth after you sap something. And that's the best it gets, crowd control wise. But I will say, this being if you're looking at playing a rogue in hardcore servers, definitely think about playing subtlety. Definitely, just for that, if nothing else, the improved sap makes a world of difference to me. Just being able to use your crowd control is really nice. You've got, if you can go up against groups of like 3 mobs with no problem, right? If you're subtlety, you sap one, then go ahead and ambush or cheap shot or whatever you're going to do to the next one. Get your finisher in on it, blind the 3rd mob, and finish off killing the first one you're on. And then if you don't want to continue the fight at that point, you can vanish. Resap one, kill the other one at that point. So, I mean, like, subtlety just gives you so many more options while you're leveling. Another problem I really have with combat rogues is that stealth is just bad in Classic unless you have the 5 points in the top of the subtlety tree that increases the effectiveness of your stealth. You have a lot of trouble with mobs seeing you through stealth when you're combat spec, and that just really irritates me to try and play combat and not be able to use my stealth, or not that you can't use your stealth, it's just so much less effective until you get those points in. So, when it comes to leveling a rogue, though, I mean, they are really great levelers. I mean, you'll have a lot of crit on them, a lot of tools to get you through the levels. It's just, every now and then it's really easy to get frustrated with the rogue. So keep an eye out for that. And I wouldn't recommend playing a rogue for your first character in a hardcore server. Maybe go ahead and level something else up so that you can send yourself money and weapons and whatnot to make it easier for you to level. It's definitely a challenge. It's a very rewarding playstyle, though. I mean, it's a really fun character to level. I'm not gonna lie. As far as professions, definitely 100%, absolutely have to level first aid. No way around it. You need it. It's not even. I don't even feel like it's an option for a rogue or a warrior. I mean, you pretty much have to level first aid. Cooking is always going to be a huge bonus for the rogue. I mean, just to have the extra stamina and spirit, even at the lower levels, can make a huge difference. But profession wise, I really can't recommend alchemy enough. Number one, you're gonna have to have vials on you, anyways, for your poisons, right? So, you, I mean, that just goes with alchemy, right? Having the potions, like as many potions as you want on demand, is really great, especially for a melee class. It's just huge. Another option, another way to go about it, leatherworking could be a good way to go for a rogue. I I don't see it being as viable as alchemy, but you'll do what you want to do, right? I'll share my plan with you on it. Is I plan to level a druid first that's doing leatherworking, and then send gear to a rogue. Is how I plan on doing that. Another Another option for it, though, would be engineering. I mean, the bombs can be really great. All the little trinkets that you get from engineering can be really helpful. But I feel like alchemy is the safer option. Um, so that's really all I wanted to talk to you about on the rogue. I was going to go ahead and pull up a talent calculator here for you. I was going to show you just something to try, right? This is just something to try if you're not sure how you want to play it. One of the better things I've found to do, and my friend Darkside has converted me to his way of thinking on this. The first two talent points you get, go ahead and grab Remorseless Attacks. And then I feel like, then after that, that's when I'm going to disagree with him. After those first 2 points, I always go into the Subtlety tree. So 5 in the improved stealth from Master of Deception, and then 5 into camouflage, and then 3 into improved ambush. At this point, your ambush should be getting. You should crit more than not with your ambush once you get to this point. So it's just something to think about. It's kind of an alternative leveling specialization that most people won't do. Most people will go combat, but this is just something that I like playing around with. I like this playstyle more than I do the combat playstyle. So then I put 3 points in Serrated Blades. I can get 2 in Improved Sap, pick up Hemorrhage, pick up Preparation, and pick up another point in Improved Sap. And at this point, you'll be level 34, but your sap is as good as it's ever going to get. It will be usable at this point, giving you a 90% chance to return to stealth after using it. Your stealth ability is much better than a combat rogue's stealth at this point, so less chance of you being detected, easier to get around behind enemies and use your ambush or whatever opener you want to use. And I particularly like Hemorrhage because it's 35 energy. I know if you do get the improved Sinister Strike, that takes the energy required for Sinister Strike down to 39, I believe, if you get both points in it. But I don't know. I really like the feel of Hemorrhage better than Sinister Strike overall. Then also having Preparation and being able to reset all your cooldowns like Vanish, Sprint, Evasion, Blind, all your rogue cooldowns can be reset with Preparation, which is really nice when you're trying to pull something, a little shady with a rogue. But yeah, that's just the leveling spec that I personally use. That's completely up to you. I'm just throwing it out there as a as an alternative specialization for your talents while leveling in hardcore. Um, I could go on and on about the rogue, and I already have. So I'm just going to end the video here. That's really all I've got to say on it for now. I think I've hit the high points of it. If I left anything out, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what I forgot. Let me know what you think about the rogue, how you like to play it. Be sure to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz, and I'll see you in the next one.